Do you remember playing dodgeball? I do. And I sucked. I don't care if I was the thrower or the dodger. It just wasn't my thing. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's possible that I wasn't very effective as the thrower because I remember what it felt like to get hit. And I'm just someone naturally who, because I know what pain feels like, disappointment, rejection, neglect, I'm familiar with those things personally. And so I make a very strong conscious effort not to extinguish that upon anyone because I know what it feels like inside. So, when we're playing dodgeball, we have the option to catch the ball or even try to dodge it. But most of the time, majority of us, instead, we panic. And we go through 3 steps. One reason why we panic is because we see the ball coming our way with force. Number 2, we just start to succumb to how much is going to hurt. And then number 3, we surrender all other considerations of what we can do to prevent the pain, but instead we prep for it. Therefore, continuing our cycle of imagination suicide. Now, the reason why I say suicide is because it's only us in the thought. There's not an outside voice like another person who is, giving verbal abuse. This is us in our minds beating ourselves up for whatever reason. So let's take a look at panic, shall we? Anyone familiar with this word automatically visualizes someone with the look of terror on their face. Panic, the expression of uncontrolled fear. Now, we are aware that most of the time when fear shows up, consciousness shuts down, which causes fear to empower us, like we give it a whole nother battery. This is common for most to surrender, and then we let fear win. Now, a few of us can go into survival mode and try to overpower our fear. Like we use that adrenaline, we use that charge to be to our advantage more than to our disadvantage. Now, these few that manage to, use the reverse process of the energy of fear to power themselves up, sometimes they're known as a hero, because in the panic moment, they reverse the energy of fear into adrenaline. And so one way to consider eliminating panic is by living in the moment and not the what if future, because we know that's what knocks us down. That's what locks us up. Like, if we just stay very present in the right now during that dodgeball moment, then a lot of us would be more heroes than succumbers to the pain. And if we're giving respect to due for today, If everything in your today is great, then there's no fear, there's no panic, there's no question about, what's happening. And that's why we should appreciate it. Now, let's say if your today has panic written all over it, then consider the ego being the culprit. Our ego is nothing but a detonator, eager to go off, giving us the impression that we are about to be made a fool of. And because it's the ego, that is unacceptable. Well, address your ego. Confront yourself with the fear you are experiencing right now, that panic moment. Confront yourself with it. Own why your ego feels threatened. Once you acknowledge the truth of the emotion to happen, then disidentify with the egotistical side of it. Disengage. Once your self-therapy is complete, smile at the awareness of connection with yourself. Now, this awareness may not happen immediately or even expose what the true specifics are, but it's important that you even acknowledge that you stopped the fear, you stopped the panic, you stopped the mayhem inside of you, that you said, wait a minute, hold on. I have what if'd myself into a frenzy. And then, like I said, if you're right now, if your present moment is panic, you still are participating with the option to say how far that panic will go inside of you. Because we both know that when we're panicking, our logic is distorted. Our decisions are compromised. So when you do have that moment and it has a pinch of clarity, be aware of that. So however and whomever smells the bloom of your clarity, be sure to inhale the aromatherapy and get familiar with your scent, your essence. Know who that is. Know who you are. Know when that time is being unfolded before you. Be gentle with yourself so that you can want to embrace that about you. Because we're going to come across a panic. We're going to come across fear. We're going to come across indecisiveness. It's all about how we embrace that to say where are we going to go? Where are we going to go with ourselves in it? You know how they have that comment that little saying, we are our worst enemy. Yes, the truth. And my goodness, if we are our worst enemy, good gracious. Again, it applies to imagination suicide. Because we're doing everything we can to kill it off. Kill ourselves off. How are you alive and you are dying? You are speaking death over everything that causes you to live in this life, to unfold in the present. Just think about it. Mental health is essential. Self-love is essential. Self-care, mandatory. Don't short yourself.